Hey, what's up? In this tutorial, we're going to be connecting our API to our application. So basically, we're going to be making our user able to register using our app. So I can say new user, I can say user, user at gmail.com. I go ahead and provide a password. So if I should go ahead and click on register, as you can see, our user has been created, new user, and our token is generated. So basically, that's what we're going to be doing in this tutorial. So make sure you watch to the end. All right, so basically you can see I have a new emulator running up, meaning, so the previous emulator you noticed in the last video was playing with my feelings a little bit, so I had to just change it to the all the player emulator I have. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and create a new folder here. So inside this folder, I'm gonna create a file called constant, a folder called constant. Then inside the folder, I'm gonna create a file called constant actually. So we are going to create a new file called constant. So constant of that. All right, so once this is created already, first you want to go ahead and pass is our URL. So our Laravel endpoint URL. So all we can do, go ahead and do is string. So we can call in a string. All right, so basically this, we are referring this as a string. I can say URL equals to, we can go ahead and pass in the URL. But initially, if you look at this, all right, we don't want to, if you should go ahead and pass in the URL that you get from this, from running your server, it won't actually work because we are running an emulator and the emulator doesn't like connect locally to this. So the emulator like owns its own kind of collection stuff. So to be able to do that, there is a solution of Stack Overflow. If you need this, I'm going to post down the link. So initially what we have to do is just change this to 10.0.2.0, then port 8000 instead of using it, because you can see the AVD uses 10.0.2.2. Initially I just have to copy this and we are good to go. Make sure you're running your server, okay, and head over to place. We can go ahead and paste it by doing http, then we can go ahead and do port 8000, okay, which is done already. We can go ahead and just add semicolon. So basically we have our URL set up already, because why we have this URL is because we don't want to be like repeating the URL in our files. So once that is done, we can go ahead to our controller. Yes, we can go ahead and create authentication dot that. All right, so once this is created, something I want to do, I want to increase the size of my font, because I got a tip that's basically, so I'm not sure some people are actually seeing what I'm typing, so I'm just going to put it to 30. So we can all see what I'm typing. All right, good. So basically, yeah, you can see this. So once we're in this, what we want to do is create a class. So I can call this authentication controller, and I can say extend. So what are we going to extend? Getx controller. And once you extend getx controller, you want to make sure you import getx. So you also have to import getx package get. You can go ahead and do get the dot. All right, so this getx controller code. So once this is done already, there are some things I want to pass in here. So I want to pass in final is loading. So basically to check if a button is clicked on. So I'm going to say this should be false. So false OBS, which means observable. So basically you want to keep track of the value. It's like a state kind of stuff. And here we want to go and have something like this. So we actually don't want this initially. So what I want to go and have is a feature. I'll go ahead and have a feature of let's say login. Yep, I'm just going to clean everything that is here. Once I have login, I'm going to do sorry, not login actually. This is supposed to be register. So we can go ahead and do var, sorry, we can go ahead and do var data. So basically what we're trying to accept in this case. Then before that, In this place, I want to go ahead and do string require. So what we need is we need the name, and we have username, email, and password. So we have to pass in required here because I'm passing this as like a map. All right, so once that is done already, then in our data here, just want to define them like this. All right, so once this is done already, all right, so once this is done, we can go ahead and create a like a var. I can call this response, and yeah, so this is not actually what we want, but we are still going to leave the get. So for this get here, what we want to do is import and install a new package which is called http. So http is what we are going to be using to connect to our URL. Basically, you can make use of http, you can make use of do, their http package for Flutter. So I just use the http on our comms. That is like by default, because do is actually built on http. Well, it depends on the one you want to actually use. So I'm going to say import package http as http exactly. So once that is done, I'm going to do http dot post. So what are we posting to? I want to post to sorry, once we have url dot pass, so we have to pass the URL. So on our URL here is called URL. So let's go to URL. So this will import it. Yep. So this will import our file. As you can see, import our file constant. Now, on that it has been installed already, so we haven't passing API here. So I believe I made a mistake. I can cut this and I'm head over to my constant again. I'm just going to put this here. And basically, let me just put this other slash here. So I'll remove this one from this place. All right. So once this is done, we can go ahead and pass in header. So we want to pass in an header because basically Laravel, you know, when we started the API, you know, in the postman we need to include app accept application JSON for our API to work. So we need the body, so we can say the body is just the data that we created at the top. Now once this is done, we can go ahead and do if response, the status code is 200, then I can just print it out. Now I'm going to use debug print actually. So debug print is kind of useful. So this is debug print, and I can say no, register success. Nope, I don't want this. I'm just going to do JSON. It's going to import a package. So JSON decode response dot body. Right now we don't want to do that. So the same thing also, if we get an error, we want to return an error here. So basically we are done with the registration system already. As you can see, it's not something very hard, and this is like it's not the best way to do it. So if you are like the almighty Flutter genius, please don't come at me, but basically this should work. All right, so once this is out of the way already, we can head over to our register page. Then where we have this button here, elevated button actually, we can go ahead and wrap this with an OB. We are supposed to wrap it with an OBX. So basically we don't have an OBX now. So what I do is I wrap it with a stream builder, because I mean they're basically like close to the same thing. So I'm just going to delete all this and also delete all this. This is going to be OBX. Good. So once this OBS is done, so before we move on again, and I just forgot, so in the authentication here, so there's something I actually need to do, which is okay, so we have to okay, I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to add it. So I believe I can just like right here, I can go ahead and call it loading should be true. You can call it like this, or you can just go ahead and call it something like this. Dot value is equals to true. So I like using the second one. I'm going to use the second one. Then yeah, it's going to be false because it has finished loading. False, and also here is going to be false. Yep, and I just noticed something actually. So we need to actually fix a little bit of stuff. So I'm just going to cut everything here. So now we have to wrap this in a try and catch. block. So we're able to catch our error. So we can say print e dot to string. All right, then we can just go ahead and paste what we have there in this place again. And let's go ahead and cross check if we have any error. So yeah, no error. And we have an error actually in our view. Basically, the widgets are conflicting for some reason. So we have getting proper use of this. Yeah, because we haven't assigned the authentication stuff to it. So what you want to do is in this place, I'm gonna do final authentication controller equals to get dot put. So basically we are just telling it, okay, we want to fetch that class. Then that class, we are going to include it right here. So I want to, the reason why I have that is like to do if is loading dot value is true. I want a rounded button. So I'm just going to like delete all this because I have it here already. So I have an error that says, okay, this is an error because its loading is not defined. So we have to actually do authentication controller dot is loading. See if the controller is loading is true. You can go ahead and call this progress button. All right. Good. So what we can now go ahead and do is let's just go ahead and click on register. And okay, let's auto restart. All right, so I just remember that we skipped some part. So basically that is not sticking to work even though I auto restart. So in this auto reset on press here, I'm going to make this an async. And you can say await. Then once it's awaiting, just we can go ahead and call authentication controller register name. So basically for me, I like trimming everything so to avoid any extra space white space or cool. So I want to have name, username, email, and password. Yep, and we should be good to go. So if I should go ahead and click on go to register and I click on register here, now so we have the loading bar. We should get an error actually that says I think field is required or something like that. Okay, this is taking forever to load up. Are we doing anything wrong? Nope. So all right, so I believe it's not stopping because let's go ahead and just include it everywhere. So basically it stops when everything stops running. So let's go ahead and auto restart this again. And yeah, the response cannot be 200. That is it's supposed to be 201. Yeah, because remember in our code here, authentication controller, once the user register, it is a 201 response code. All right, so now let's go to register. Now let's click on register. Let's see if you have an error here. So after further looking, I found out that the 10 something was not actually working. So what I did was I followed the second one. I got my IP. So if you're on Windows, in your Windows, you can go ahead and write IP config. So that will give you IP address, which is basically this. So I got my IP address, I copied it, and I went to my PHP. Then I ran my server just like this by doing PHP artisan serve --host your IP address. Then I select the port 80, and you can see now my project is running on that particular stuff. So I gave it, then I went ahead to my URL and I passed it inside, and now it seems everything works fine. So basically we should go ahead and click on register. You can see I have the message that says the name is required, the username is required, the email is required. Yeah, basically that's all we need. And meaning now we can go ahead and register actually. So if I should register, I go ahead and register like my name, at gmail.com, put in a password, click on register. Let's see. So we have username has already been taken. Wow, Nasina is working now, and I believe I've used this email before, so I'm just going to change everything. And yeah, now you can see our user has been created. Pressure Solar Daily. username, email, and my token. All right, good. So basically, we're actually done with the authentication like this. Next one we're going to look at is the login. Then after that, we're going to be saving this token in our device, in our local storage, so as to make sure that user is authenticated. But before that, let's just make a little bit of customization. Right, so what I actually want to do is, like, the register page, I can just I just want to remove this widget actually. So I'm just going to remove this widget. Oh, so there's no remove. So I'm just going to like remove all this widget. Then down here, I'm just going to remove this comma. Then what I want to do is inside this text here, this is where I'm going to wrap it. So I'm going to wrap this with a string builder. I'm just going to delete everything. Then I'm going to call this obx. Then it's going to be just this, I believe. Nope, we need another one of these. Good. So now I can just do authentication controller dot is loading dot value. So basically, if it is true, I can go ahead and do center child circular progress indicator. Then I can go ahead and give it a color of black, so as to rhyme with our text. Go ahead and pass this constant. Save this, and let's just auth restart actually. All right, good. So you check it, go to register, click on register. You can see we have a very long kind of stuff. All right, I think we can just make this white. So let's make it white. So register, nice. So basically, we are done with this. In the next tutorial, we're going to be looking at how to build a login page. See you next time. Peace.